Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Chess Championship 2023. It's Ding Liren from China and Yan Nepomniachtchi from Russia, and it's a best of 14 classical chess match. Game number 1 was a draw, and we didn't have to wait long for fireworks, folks, because game number 2 was epic from the 4th move till the last move. Somebody emerged a winner. Before I show you the game today, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's recap, PayPal Honey. You know what takes 2 clicks? Checkmating your opponent. You know what also takes 2 clicks? Using PayPal Honey, the #1 shopping tool in America. Honey will automatically search for promo codes while you shop so that you don't have to. You want to buy a pair of shoes? Click on Honey when it turns orange, search and apply for the best coupon, and boom! Now, you get a discount on that pair of shoes. Maybe you've been sitting a lot the last couple of years, your chair is worn out. You want to buy a new one? This one looks kind of nice. Click the H, click again, and boom, now you pay less. What if holiday season is coming up? You want to buy your significant other a makeup palette. Well, I got good news. It's like playing the same chess opening. You click again, and boom, there's your discount. If only I could use Honey to shop online for chess elo. Couple of fun facts. 1, Honey finds discounts on average of 18%. Honey's available on over 30,000 websites. And Honey also has over 17 million members. Get Honey for absolutely free right now by going to joinhoney.com/Gotham. I'll say it one more time. joinhoney.com/Gotham. And now you can shop with confidence. Now let's get back to the video. Folks, we did not need to wait very long for the drama of game 4 to commence. Ding Liren began with d4. Ding Liren has played d4 most of his entire life. Yan Nepomniachtchi plays knight f6 and e6. Now, if I would have to guess, 99% of you watching this video were not really into chess as much as you are now 3 to 4 years ago. What you don't know is that Yan Nepomniachtchi used to only play g6 and used to play the Grunfeld defense. It's one of the most renowned openings in chess. It's very complicated. It takes a lifetime to master. And just for his match against Magnus Carlsen, he learned e6 d5. He didn't learn e6 d5. Of course, all the best players in the world know this stuff. But in this game, this is what was expected. And here came the drama. Now, you might say, what are you talking about? Like, how can there be drama on move 4, right? Ding is either going to play the traditional Queen's Gambit. Okay, what did he take? Did he play e3? I don't know. Ding loves the Catalan, okay? And the thing is, when you are predictable with white, it doesn't really matter. When you're predictable with black, it matters more because you go second. If people know you play the Catalan, it's like knowing you're going to play LeBron James. Like, okay, so you know you're going to play LeBron James, and you know what he's going to do. He's still going to put up 30, like if he wants, you know, you just got to try to slow him down. Ding didn't play the Catalan. Ding didn't play the traditional Queen's Knight. In this position, Ding Liren played the move h3. What? Now, some of you might watch this and go, so what? I play h3 all the time. Yeah, but you're 400, all right? The move h3 has literally never happened in a master's database. Never. Now, why? Well, it looks like a waste of a move. I mean, it looks like, okay, one of the ideas could be white playing g4. Another idea could be to block this, but black can't even do that. So what is the point of h3? The point of h3 is, I think, to basically grab Yan by his shirt and throw them both off a cliff together, holding on to each other. All right, like, let's go. And obviously, there are a few ways that black can play. Black can keep the center closed and try to play a Queen's Gambit decline style. Black can try to play, you know, c5, Tarrasch style. Yan takes. You'll notice Yan spent 10 minutes on move 4. Look at Jan's time. D takes c4. All right? So now we have a Queen's Gambit accepted. Now it's essentially like we got to this position, but the capture on c4 occurred. So we have h3, dc4, and just a regular Queen's Gambit declined. You know, c5, bishop c4, and now a6. The fascinating thing about this position, all right, let me just go back to the beginning. I know that this did not happen, bear with me. But folks, look at this position, right? And then look at this position. I mean, it's just basically like white played h3. But why is that there? Well, like that's what we're trying to figure out, okay? Castles, knight c6, but Jan is doing everything right. And we have knight c3. I mean, nothing too spectacular here, right? Obviously, nothing. Why are certain things happening? Well, here's how black has to handle this position. You'll notice that Jan is down a lot on time. The other thing is, okay, here's why this opening is important. If the Queen's Gambit accepted is not in Jan's repertoire, he's not really happy to be playing it. What does that mean, right? Well, Jan is playing a Nimso Indian setup. If Jan wanted to play the Queen's Gambit accepted, he would have played the Queen's Gambit accepted. That's how you play the Queen's Gambit accepted. But you don't really play the Queen's Gambit accepted like this. It's just not something that you're really interested in. But Jan, as you'll see, is trying to fight back. He is not trying to play bishop e7. He's not trying to play castles. None of this stuff. And Ding is trying to keep the tension here among the center pawns. One of the major ideas in the white position is if black tries to fight back too quickly, white has queen f3, and white can get some very, very serious activity with the move d5. So white's major pawn break in the position is trying to succeed in playing the move d5. So we have b5, we have bishop d3, bishop b7, and now kind of the first major tense moment in the opening as Ding Liren has achieved a 20-minute time advantage by the 9th move. He can play queen e2, rook d1. He can try to play for e4, e5. He can try to play for e4, d5. But no, he plays a4 virtually instantly. He plays the move a4, immediately punishing Jan for overextending with his pawn. We go all the way back here. This was all something Ding Liren had anticipated. He knew Jan might play b5, and it very well could be the best move. But now he's going to ask Jan what he's going to do with that pawn on b5. And I got news for you. Jan ain't got a whole lot he could do with that pawn on b5 other than push it. His alternative is maybe going here. All right? So Jan, after some thought, 10 minutes, plays b4. He's now down 30 minutes on the clock in the opening. This is why we give them the 2 hours for the first 40 moves. And this is why we give Gotham an iced coffee in the morning. Otherwise, he's cranky. And now with allergy season, oh my God, my whole face is puffy. It's ridiculous. So b4, and now we have knight to e4, inviting an exchange of knights. If knight takes, the bishop applies some very meaningful pressure. And if black tries to play the move f5, that's a gross overreaction, because actually I will take. And I like to say don't trade bishops for knights unless there's a good reason. There is a good reason. You secure a beautiful square in the center of the board. You have queen h5. These pawns are weak. The squares are weak. Black is severely overextended. So Jan in this position actually finds a critical move. Knight a5. Jan is down 32 minutes on the clock, but he's so good that it doesn't matter that Ding Liren comes with engine preparation. Okay? Ding Liren has shown up to this game clearly using fantastic prep that he has studied for months, and yet Jan has avoided all the horrible stuff and found himself in a position where after the move knight a5, he is targeting Ding's knight, and he's basically saying, Ding, you got to take my pawn. He's giving Ding a pawn. His idea is knight c5, bishop c5, dc, I'll figure it out. I don't know how he's planning to figure that out. Maybe he's going to castle and play queen c7 and bring his rooks. Maybe he's going to play bishop e4, takes, he's going to trade queens, knight e4, and get the pawn back like this. Then the pawn might sneak this way, but I guess it gets taken. I don't know. But he plays the move knight a5, and clearly, Jan has a lot of things prepared to meet the move knight takes c5. He is just giving up a pawn. This is a very common concept in chess. First of all, Jan is trying to play the best moves. But second of all, he's trying to get out of his opponent's prep, right? That's what he's trying to do. So it's very brave of him to play knight a5 because it very much is a move that a person can be stuck in their prep. And Ding goes here. And if you're keen, look at the time. Folks, when a person thinks for 34 minutes, they do not remember their prep anymore. So Jan, despite falling for every single one of the nuances in Ding's preparation, finds a way out, plays the move knight a5, offering up a pawn for activity, and Ding does not take. Ding decides the move is not knight takes c5, and instead is knight takes f6, for what I can only imagine he had prepared queen f6. He was probably going to play e4 and try to activate his pieces and hit the queen, and g takes f6, which is exactly what Jan played in the game. Now, people were hesitating. They were like, you really want to do this? Now, some of you might be shocked. Some of you might go, why would Jan take with the pawn? What about his pawn structure, right? Where's his king going? Well, this is the single reason you would take with the g-pawn. When your opponent has already committed their king somewhere in a chess game, you now have a green light. You can just, you see where you can attack. In some cases, it's stupid to attack, but in this case, it's not stupid. These pawns do a really nice job completely covering 4 infiltration spots. h5 is weak, sure, but black is gonna move his queen, and then he's gonna castle long, and I got news for you. Somehow these pawns do a nice job. How do you ensure in this position, guarantee in this position, black has difficulties castling? You take on c5. You don't even think about it. You take on c5. Why? Because if black takes back on c5, the c file is open, all right? White can play e4, queen e2, bishop f4, rook c1, and it's a fight. Black is gonna fight, white is gonna fight. I mean, it's a very, very messy position. But after the move g takes f6, you have to play d takes c5 in order to open the position. Because if you don't play the move d takes c5, then black is gonna play c4. And when the king side is sealed and shut, the black king will be escorted this way. And folks, you might not be fully aware of this, but when you castle on opposite sides, you just destroy one another. I mean, that's just what you do, right? So Ding has to go here. Ding doesn't do that. Ding plays the second best move, but it's an extremely provocative move. Why is it extremely provocative? Because Jan's gonna go here, and now, folks, the ring is shut. The cage is closed. The fighters are gonna fight. I mean, that's it, all right? Like, lock these two men in a room, give them some 4-ounce gloves, no shirts on. By the way, that Pereira knockout, oh my goodness, Adesanya, oh, that was, I ran around, oh my God, I'm still thinking about it. Folks, someone's gonna lose this game. Someone's gonna lose. Bishop c2 back, Jan plays queen c7, exactly what he's supposed to do. The seal has been shut. He's gonna castle long. He's gonna play bishop d6. Yeah, and Ding is going to play bishop e3, maybe d5 or e5, maybe b3, and try to smash through because he knows that Jan's king is going this way. That's it. Both guys are just headed for a collision course. That's what's gonna happen, all right? So bishop d2, played by Ding, obviously lining up the bishop to hit this pawn. Jan plays rook g8. Right? Both guys are just preparing the cannons. I mean, this is pretty wild, right? It's like a movie moment. Now, here, I think Ding should play queen e1. Frankly speaking, I'm not really sure why he didn't play queen e1. Probably he didn't like something to do with, you know, the pressure over here. But he can always sidestep from the pin so that the pawn is now able to capture. See, the problem in white's position is that if he plays here, bishop f3 is always an issue because he's pinned. But if the king's on h1, there is no issue. But yeah, queen e1. You'll notice Ding spends 5 minutes, he plays rook c1. But still, the last few moves is just the preparation. Bishop d2, rook g8, rook c8. Both guys just bringing all their pieces. Now we have long castles. And with 1 hour on the clock each, both players have basically reached a moment after both players have made 16 moves. This is the most tense moment in the game. Most tense moment. It's official. Jan has castled. He is almost completely out of improving moves. What I mean by that is both players have made their necessary preparations for the battle. Now white can play king h1 to get off the g file. White can play queen e1. Again, queen e1 is always looking to me very, very natural. And then obviously if the queen like defends the pawn, you have bishop d3 applying some pressure. So it's kind of like a move order thing. Like, do I play queen e1? Do I play bishop d3? Do I play king h1? After some thought, Ding Liren plays bishop d3. Now, Vladimir Kramnik, very, very strong player, a legend. I remember he had a quote that basically was like, if you spend more than 10 or 15 minutes on a move, it's going to be a bad move. Unless, of course, I don't know, you're stalling. So you'll notice that Ding plays bishop d3 right at that 15-minute mark, and it's the wrong move order. He chose the wrong move order, okay? What does that mean? Well, I just showed you, right? Like there's queen e1 to attack this first and then bishop d3. He just chooses bishop d3. Why is that the wrong move order? Well, in the game, Jan unpins himself. Now if you play queen e1 attacking this, I no longer have to defend my b4 pawn, which is fascinating. Why do I no longer have to defend? Because I can start firing away. You cannot take on b4 because there's nothing here. I come back and I start attacking you. You had to start with queen e1. Because if I played f5 after queen e1 in this case, it's still a balanced game, all right? You haven't actually committed your bishop to be captured. But the way Ding did this, the bishop can't be taken because of the pin, but the bishop is always hanging. So Ding plays bishop d3 and then is going to do something, but one of the two pieces is no longer pinned, rook e1, and in this position, Jan Nepomniachtchi delivered a brutal body shot, left uppercut to the body, f5. And suddenly the integrity of the white position was questioned. This hits this, this hits this, this hits this, and you never managed to make it through my queenside. And after a long thought, Ding went back. We go back here, 1 hour each per player. Ding plays bishop d3 and brings the bishop back to c2. And he has lost 36 minutes of time. I think if you are keenly watching this, you might know where this is going. Jan Nepomniachtchi now brings his A knight back to c6. That knight did its job. In fact, I would argue that knight move was the most important he made in the entire game. Why? Because it was the first move that made Ding think. And in that moment, Ding went inaccurate. He had to take on c5, taking the pawn and hoping for the best. But instead of that, he took on f6 and opened up the position for a man in Jan Nepomniachtchi who loves a dynamic game, and now the knight has come back home. Instead of defending, Ding plays bishop g5. And listen, folks, no good game is finished without sacrificing the rook! Rook takes g5. A beautiful move. Unnecessary. Black can play bishop e7, but rook takes g5. In the words of Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, super necessary. Rook takes g5. Knight takes g5. Knight takes d4. And Jan Nepomniachtchi follows the age-old philosophy of an attack does not need to end in mate. He has two powerful bishops. This pawn will break through and become a passer. The bishops still can create an attack. Ding plays queen h5, attacking pawns on f7. Now a beautiful move, f6. You can venture into my position, but you will probably be trapped. Knight f3, I grab the bishop, and I grab the pawn. And the position is officially materially equal, but black has a completely decisive advantage and a 30-minute edge on the clock. Why is it so winning? Because you don't trade bishops, because bishop h2 is always a problem. White goes here. Ding Liren has 2 minutes to make his remaining 14 moves. Jan plays c3 and c2. The pawn is now a square away from queening and a permanent headache. And now Jan ends it all with the top computer move, e5. Why is this the top computer move? Because the rook is trapped. It cannot go here, or here, or here, and if it goes here, it blocks the queen, and black goes here. 29 moves, a 30-minute edge at the end of the game after being down 30 minutes. Jan Nepomniachtchi wins Game 2 of the World Chess Championship 2023. It is his second win. It's his first win in a World Championship match. He hasn't actually won a game yet in the World Championship. He didn't win against Magnus. He leads 1.5 to half. This game was a beautiful one. Ding shows up, clearly making his opponent uncomfortable. I'm imagining Ding was inspired by the person he's working with, Richard Rapport. Many of you don't know or care about any of that. Many of you don't even care about this World Championship. Did you know that Game 1's recap got outperformed by 600 ELO chess? Crazy. No Magnus, no views. Ding surprises his opponent, and Jan Nepomniachtchi plays a nearly perfect opening, sacrificing a pawn for activity, which Ding forgets, doesn't remember the extent of his preparation, goes wrong, and Jan just starts firing away with f5. A breathtaking game. Now, folks, before you click off and I let you go about your day, as Jan takes a 1.5 half lead here in the World Championship, a friendly reminder, all courses, 50% off. All right? during the first few days here of the World Chess Championship. And for Chessly Plus, we are making a mini course on the World Championship as well. So you can take strategic quizzes, you can do drills for any of the continuations in these games. Very interesting stuff. Go test it out. I'll see you for game number 3. Now get out of here.